Welcome back again, NGDL fans. We have a battle here, and like I said, this is going to be Week 8, and we're trying to get, once again, back up to 500. We just took some two rough losses, and this time we are facing the Silverback Mamoswines, and this is coached by Fat Jesus. Now, he has quite a bit of a challenge. Because he's coming into the league late. I'm not going to get into the details, but one of our members got himself kicked out of the Discord and obviously the league as well due to some things. So that is basically taking over a team that he didn't draft, and he's just getting actually back into Pokemon. But he is gunning a pretty decent team here. His team is 4-3. He did lose last week though, his first game as the coach of the team. But I'm hoping to also take advantage of some rust and him in general not being familiar enough with his team. So I would really like to get that to 500. So let's go ahead and get into this. Going into it, looking at his team, he has a lot of powerful water types. I'm expecting Rotom Wash and obviously Tapu Fini, so I'm gonna have to prepare well for that. His team also has really low speed, so I know I can run some power sets as opposed to investing in max speed. So there you go, and surprisingly, he's going to bring Rotom Heat Form, which I have no idea why he would bring that against me, because Rotom Wash actually does a lot. I mean, it causes a lot of problems for a lot of different Pokemon on my team, so I'm kind of surprised to see that Rotom Heat, as I decide to lead with my Goodra, and he's just going to go ahead and lead with it. So he's going to withdraw, knowing that he probably doesn't have anything to do if I carry the Assault Vest. He's going to go into his Tapu Fini, and I believe, just to switch out as well, not knowing what he would do, and I didn't want to take a burn because I think that's a physical Goodra, so I decided to go into my, my Fulham was here, my Porygon-z. Sorry, Fulham gen my team this week. And I guess I'm going to surprise him here, just go for the Tri-Attack. Now, this is a Specs Porygon-z. I'm not bringing Conversion Z this time around. And, another interesting thing about his team is he does have Porygon too, so you might actually see some father against son match coming up. But either way, he's going to go out into his Nidoking, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I could do a lot of damage to it, but I kind of think this guy's Scarfed. So I decided to go out to my Goodra. It's a safe play anyway. Even if he goes for the Ice Beam, I can actually take one. And now I'm just going to go for the Power Whip, and it ends up doing good damage to the incoming Tapu Fini. Not as much as I would like, although I'm not Choice Banded, but I'm still kind of thinking that this is a physically defensive Tapu Fini. I decided to stay in and get another hit off. He just goes for the Moonblast. Due to my Assault Vest, I'm actually going to be able to take that very well. And, I'm just going to go for another Power Whip, which barely doesn't kill it, unfortunately. It would have been nice to get the KO there, but not quite. And the good news is, though, that Tapu Fini is crippled, and Tapu Fini does not have a reliable way to recover his HP, so that feels definitely good. So I'm going to go ahead and switch out into Scissor. I don't want to take another hit of Moonblast on my Goodra. Trying to keep it healthy enough to take a hit from that Nidoking, who, like I said, kind of think it's Scarfed. And, of course, his Porygon 2 also kind of scares me. The old owner of this team would actually use Z-Conversion Porygon 2 to catch his opponents off guard and to get sweeps. So in the back of my mind, I have to be aware of that it could be a possibility. So anyway, I'm just going to U-turn, and he ends up just staying in and dying, which is nice. And now I decide to go into my Carnivine. This is a really weird Carnivine set. It's actually supposed to be like a lead Carnivine. I decided not to lead with it, though, after seeing that he led with, after I saw he brought Rotom Heat. But, I'm just going to go for a Toxic. I actually have dual status on this. It's actually Choice Scarfed, and it's made to, combat his team pretty well. But, I see the Porygon 2. I know that he's probably going to be carrying Ice Beam, but I decided to get the Toxic off anyway, which will definitely limit what Porygon 2 can do, because it's going to limit the amount of turns it can come in. But, I just decided to switch into Scissor, keeping Carnivine for now. Maybe I can use his Death Fodder. I can always use the Scarf Sleep Powder, of course, so there's a lot of things that it can do for me still. So I go out into my Scissor, who I know is not going to take that much, and he just goes for the Tri-Attack. Doesn't get the status, thankfully. And I'm just going to go for the Choice Banded Superpower, and it ends up doing some decent damage to the incoming Rotom Wash. And at this point, I'm like, okay, I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know if he's Scarf. I don't know if he's, a Specs or whatever set. I'm just going to go into Carnivine and just get the safe switch. And that ends up being the right play. I'm just going to go into Porygon-Z now, because if he is locked into Shadow Ball, then obviously he has to switch. He can't damage me. And I can just get off another really powerful Choice Specs boosted Tri-Attack, which of course is also boosted by adaptability. And as you can see, it's going to be a solid 2-hit KO here against this Porygon 2. And that's pretty darn good, because I don't have to worry about little brother messing me up. Now sit down, Porygon-2, and let's see how Big Brother handles it. So in comes Nidoking here, and it does appear to be Scarfed. It outspeeds me, but it doesn't really have a whole lot to do to me. The best he can do is some little damage there with Ice Beam, and at this point, Porygon-2 is looking to sweep. This thing is clearly Specs Rotom Heat form because I outspeed it. Even if I didn't, I feel confident that I could, obviously Revenge Kill it after seeing what it locks itself into. And this last Pokemon is Torterra, so it looks like Porygon-Z can come in here and finish up here. Funnily enough, though, I get the freeze. I don't quite kill, I get the freeze, and then he just immediately dethaws and misses with Leech Seed. So that was kind of funny. But I decided to actually switch out, and I do that. I mean, this is actually kind of a risk, because if he goes for a Woodhammer here, then I lose Pokemon. So I probably shouldn't have done this, but I did want to, I don't know, just show off part of my preparation this week. I was actually thinking he would be using Rotom Wash and Tapu Fini, so I decided to bring Bloom Doom Greninja, being obviously the only grass move that Greninja can have is Grass Knot, so yeah, I decided to bring Bloom Doom because it does a lot of damage, obviously, with Protean to Tapu Fini. And, yeah, I just wanted to surprise it. It can't one-hit KO outright, depending on the set, but it can definitely KO from really high range. Not to mention the Rotom, which I was expecting him to bring Rotom Wash, but he decided to bring Rotom Heat. That is a legal thing in this tournament. He drafted Rotom at OU, so he can use any Rotom form. Gives him a lot of flexibility. I shouldn't say I should say Venom. But anyway, getting a 5-0 really does feel nice, especially since it negates pretty much the 5-0 loss I took last week to Sharpedo 43. And of course, we're back up to 4-4 and second in our division. Zack Attack lost, so yeah, I'm at 1.5 games up ahead of him. But we face another hard matchup next week against Toronto Pure. So yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. Anyway, today's question of the day is, what are your thoughts about these two new Ultra Beasts that were revealed not too long ago, I think a couple days ago, that are going to be coming in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon? I'm kind of surprised personally, because most of the time when you get a second game in a generation, in this case Gen 7, you don't really see all new Pokemon, maybe some new forms. But I guess I'm kind of curious about how it's going to work with compatibility with Sun and Moon. But either way, these designs are pretty offbeat. They're just like the other Ultra Beasts. You can't really call them Pokemon, but they're definitely weird and they look interesting. I kind of do like the look of the assembly one. Not so sure about Burst. That one just looks fruity, although it's probably going to be a fairy. Although it's really hard to tell what typing any of them are, except for maybe Celesteela. But yeah, that's going to be interesting, I think. Tell me your thoughts and your predictions about what they are. I think the first one, the lollipop-looking one, I guess it looks like to me, is going to probably be a fairy or something. The assembly one's going to be some kind of bulky rock, maybe. It looks kind of cool, actually. I kind of like it. So leave a comment about that, and see you guys again next time. Later.